All right, guys, y'all are in for a real treat. So I'm going to do a wreath, a Christmas wreath. And this is a wreath that I purchased from Hobby Lobby from clearance last year. You can't see it, but there is some, let me bring it just a little bit closer so you can. You probably can see it. But there are some pine cones, little pine cone clusters on this particular greenery. And it is kind of, I don't know if I back it up a little bit, you can see that it's fuller at the top, and in the bottom section here is a little not as full, but I have a plan for the not so full section. So that's the reason why I've set this up on a hook so I can work with it instead of laying it on a table. I want to be able to see it hanging up so I can kind of work with it. So I'm going to actually be working on this while you guys are sitting in the background watching me put this together. Some of the things that I'm using today in my craft will be 12 of these gold poinsettias that you can get from Dollar Tree. I have 12 stems. So you have to grab them when they come out. Make sure that you go to Dollar Tree and get their stash because they go fast. And then I have 6 of these. They're twig. They look like little twigs, but they have the little crystals on them. So I have 6 of these that I'm going to be using throughout the wreath in order to bring some little bit of a glitterish effect. I have some extra ribbon that I had left over from a craft that I did that I'm going to use to make a small bow. And then to enhance the bow, I'm going to use this mesh, which I have not seen this year. I'm looking for it, but at Christmas time they come out with a mesh, and this is at Dollar Tree on a roll for $1.25, and I fell in love with it last year, so I'm looking for it. I just have not found it yet. It has not come out yet this year. So, and then in the center of the wreath, we're going to put one of the Dollar Tree signs in the center. And so you'll see how it all comes together when I complete it. So we're going to start with our flowers. So I'm going to take 6 of these, and I am going to spread them out a little bit, but I will maneuver them, as I always say. I will reposition them after I get them all in place. So I'm just going to start with like at the 9 o'clock, the 9 o'clock spot, the 3 o'clock, kind of using it as a clock in a way. So I got the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and it's not wanting to stay. Of course, remember, I'm using this for decorations in my home. I'm not using it outside. If I was using this outside, I would definitely hot glue it so that the wind would not take it off of my decorations. I'm not going to hot glue because this is going to be an indoor decoration. So I'm going to do a 12 o'clock and probably about a 5 o'clock. So I'm kind of like thinking of a clock in my positioning. And then about a 7. I'll get all the way so you can see what I'm doing. 7. So I've kind of got 5 of them up here, and then I'm just going to space the rest of these kind of in the little blank areas. So basically we'll have the entire wreath will have these golden flower poinsettias on them. And I'll give you a closer up view once I get all of them in their position. Trying to not block the view as much so you can kind of see the method of my madness of how I'm putting these poinsettias in place. Then I have And so, I mean, the thing about this too is, like, if you're not into the golden color, if that's not your color for the Christmas season, like I know I said last week, mine is more of the reds. I just happen to have these gold ones on hand. I was going to do a really big project and ended up not doing the project that I was planning on doing. And so I had these on hand, and I saw this wreath, and I thought, man, I bet that would make a really pretty wreath for like putting above a couch or on, I used to have a fireplace with a mantle, and I used to always decorate my mantle fireplace, and that was something that I enjoyed putting decorations around, and I would always have my arrangements. So I'm just kind of looking for my holes that I want to fill with the flowers, and I'm sure y'all are probably seeing more holes than what I'm seeing, but I just want to kind of feel, you know, this is where my bow is going to be, so I just kind of want to leave that area kind of free a little bit. I'm not too happy with this top part, but I think I'll live with it. It'll be okay. So that's the wreath with the golden flowers. Of course, if you wanted to hot glue, you could hot glue them in place, and they wouldn't go anywhere. I promise you, if you hot glue them, they'll be permanently put in place. Now, the other thing about like things like these little sticks, they do shed, so be aware of that. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find an area to stick my little branches in and just kind of spread them out a little bit. Now I'm going to have to work with this because it's going to get cantankerous here. Everything's not wanting to sit like it's supposed to. And so I just kind of like work them into, because they're more of a, the branches are more of an accent piece to kind of just bring a little bit of new texture, a new dimension to the arrangement. And so that's kind of what I'm using these for, is just to kind of just add a little different flair to it. Nothing major, just so I'm probably going to do two sides of the middle of this. I hope that y'all can see what I'm doing and I'm not getting in the way too much. But just kind of giving it a little bit of a flair. There's just like, I'm just not having, this is not working for me. Sorry guys. I am going to make some adjustments here because this is just not meeting my my expectations. I don't know if any of you have fur babies, but you know how your fur babies always think that they have to be in the middle of everything you do. So if you hear a cat meowing, a little kitten, she thinks she needs to be in the room with me. My dog will be scratching probably on the door. So just to, if y'all hear any noises. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my bowl that I like to do. And I'm going to start with, this ribbon right here, the smaller gold ribbon. And we are going to make a bow. And I don't have much of the ribbon, so I know I'm going to have to make a pretty tight bow with very little tails. So I'm going to start at the very tip of it, the very end of it. And again, I'm going to make a loop and turn it, and then make another loop and turn it. And I know for a fact that this bow, because I've had it made in a previous craft project, is going to be small. So that's the reason why I'm going to add the wide kind of a tulle ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree to kind of make it bigger. So I'm very well aware. And also you can't see it on the film, but the gold side is more shiny, so you want to make sure that that's on the top instead of the dull side. That's your back side. You want to make sure your back side stays on the interior part of your bow. So I'm just basically twisting and manipulating my ribbon into loops. Can y'all hear my little baby crying? She is wanting to be in here. But they're like little terrors. Getting into everything. Yes. Okay. Not today. Not today, Smitty. Yes, her name is Smitty. She thinks that she is supposed to be involved with all my craft activities. Oh my goodness. We are blessed with little babies. Anyway, so I'm going to make before I make my last loop, I am going to make a center loop So that's what I'm going to make right here, is just a center loop for my bow, which this bow is only going to have six loops on total of 6 loops, 3 on each side, and then a center loop. That's all it's going to have. And then I'm going to twist it and hold it, and then I'm putting my end underneath my hand right here. I'm holding the end of the ribbon, and so I've got everything right there. So what I'm going to do is, so that I can put this down, I'm going to go ahead and secure it with the pipe cleaner, knowing that I'm going to untie the pipe cleaner in order to put in the bigger pieces. So I'm just going to real quickly secure it so I can lay it down and put it down while I work on the other one. So on this one, we will have a little bit of a tail. So I'm looking at probably maybe 6 inches, 7 inches for the tail. And on this one, it's kind of hard to tell. They both sides are shiny, so there's not a dull side. So you should be okay with, as far as, you know, having to make sure that the shiny stays on top. So I'm making my loops about, I want to say 6 inches. I should measure this. Maybe 7 inches or 6 inches. What I did was I came over and I measured where I wanted my bow to make sure that I've got the width of my opening. And that's how I determined the size of my bow. So that's just my technique of measurement, and I eyeball it. So I'm not a particular, I don't get the ruler out and measure. I just kind of eyeball and kind of use my judgment on the size. And then, like, the other thing with this mesh, because the mesh kind of gets a little, or this tool gets a little unruly, you can just kind of go ahead and just make your loops and then come back and fluff them out after you get them made. So that way you're not fighting with it, trying to get the loops all fluffy. So basically that's what I'm getting ready to do, because I'm having a fight here with it. And I'm not going to fight, but I just want to make sure that it is the right length. That's the only thing I want to make sure, because the rest I can fluff out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I really don't have, oh, okay, I'm going to redo this. Sorry, that's called it was too short at the end, so I'm starting over. And I'm just going to try to make the loops just a little bit shorter, so maybe reducing it down to about 4 inches, because I want a more fluffier bow. I think that still will work in there, even with the center. So it's okay to start over if it looks like it's not working out, or you don't have enough to give you enough of a bow that you want a fuller. What it was is the loops were going to be uneven, and I want my loops to be even. I don't want them to be uneven. So I want the same amount of loops on one side that I have on the other side. So it's okay to go ahead, if you get to the end of your ribbon, or you get close to the end of your spool of ribbon and you realize you're not going to have enough, it's okay to go ahead and start over again. And one thing about tulle and some of these ribbons, they are very forgiving, and they allow you to go ahead and redo your loops, and you can just kind of spread them out. Now this thing, I'm telling you, if you don't want glitter all over your floors and all over your house, don't mess with this, because it will get everywhere. That is the one thing about this stuff. It is like very, very shed friendly. So I'm just basically I'm undoing my small bow. You don't have to undo it. You could just leave it. In fact, I think I will do that. Just leave it and just attach. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take the back side of this pipe cleaner, and I'm going to attach the bow, this other bow that I just made, to the back side of this small bow that I made, and get ready to fluff it. Now, personally, I'm not going to fluff this until I get it onto my arrangement over here, my wreath, because that's going to give me a form to secure it to. Because normally I secure to like cardboard, I think I mentioned that in another video. I use cardboard and we would secure our bows to it and then fluff it. But I'm going to use the actual wreath to fluff, and then I can kind of get a better vision of the actual wreath. Now I'm going to play with these flowers. I'm not too happy with these flowers just yet. So that's still going to be a work in progress. But basically I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to fluff up these loops by pulling them out and making them not so flat looking, but more open so that you can see the beauty. I mean, it's a gorgeous tool. That's why I'm on the hunt. When I find it, I'm gonna be scooping me some up when I see it at Dollar Tree, because I am looking for it for sure. Because I think it's a very pretty, it definitely would go, if you were doing, I think this would be a pretty arrangement for if you were doing a 50th anniversary for the gold. It would be very, very pretty for that. If you have someone in your family that got married in December, you could do these gold poinsettias, or January. I don't see why you couldn't use floral work like this in January. So basically right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and I'm going to do some fluffing. Now some of y'all are probably going, you should just use some hot glue to secure it in place. I probably should. That way it wouldn't move around on me. But I'm just kind of looking at my flowers and just kind of getting a feel for, I want to make sure that it's nice and tidy before I put my picture in place that I have that I want to use. So I'm using these flowers to fill in some areas. Because you can spread them, you know, however. You know, I would do my best not to cluster them, you know, not to let them be clustered, but just kind of spread them out. That way you kind of get a full wreath, you know, a full look of a wreath instead of, you know, something that looks like it's about ready to fall apart, like mine. I critique mine too hard. I can't quit being so hard on myself. So some of you might want to just cut the ribbon off of the picture here, but I'm not sure because I may want to use it to secure it to the wreath. So you just put this picture, I found this, sorry, I'll give you a picture, close-up picture. It's a, if you can, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got the glitter all over it. But it really does bring out the glitter in the flowers. I wouldn't use the glitter one if it wasn't for everything in this having the glitter effect. In fact, I think I am going to use the ribbon around it to secure it. So I'm just actually taking one of the branches inside the wreath and creating a hook and just folding it up so that it actually hooks it in place. And again, you may want to hot glue it in place. I don't prefer, that's not what I want to do. So I'm just going to basically make sure that all my words can be read. And that's all I did. Just created the bow and created the picture and made this huge wreath all out of Dollar Tree products. And so, except for the green wreath came from Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. So be on the lookout for their 50% off, and you can grab up one of their green wreaths and then go to Hobby Lobby and get all your flowers and get the little pictures that they had some really cute pictures this year. So any of the pictures in the center will work. So I hope you like it. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment on what you think about this winter wreath that I created. And I'll try to give you a close-up picture of it. Oops. So I hope you like it. Thank you for watching.